Alright, Mackenzie's going to do a ice skater. This is a TRX exercise for the calves, the feet, the feet, the calves, the hamstrings, the glutes, and the lower back. And she's simply going to kick one leg out at a time, never locking out her knee, and bringing it back, gripping her toes in, keeping her butt up the whole time. And if she wants to push the elbows and hands into the ground as well, and push the back of the head into the ground, that'll work the entire posterior chain of the body. How about bring it back up, 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 up. Now we can also do a more glute emphasize progression. So we're going to drop the butt straight down, keeping the feet right where they are, and then pressing straight back up. Keeping the toes engaged the whole time to work the intrinsics of the foot and the arch muscles and the calves. And you can also push the head into the ground to work the cervical extensors to help with posture as well. Excellent.
Alright, so Chris is going to do a one-legged hamstring curl. He has both feet, or one foot in both the TRX straps, and he's going to push his hips and butt towards the ceiling, really using the hamstring and the calves and squeezing his toes. Good. And he's holding the other leg straight up in line with the other thigh. He's pushing his shoulders into the ground. And then you can make it harder by extending his foot out. Still keeping the butt up. Good.
Alright, we're going to do another variation of one-legged hamstring ramps. We're going to push the butt straight up. And from here, if we can get some glutes, we can tap down, press up, keeping the toes engaged the whole time, knees in line. Chins up. Shoulders down and back, pushing the arms into the ground to work the back of the shoulders. From here, if we want to challenge, we can tap the other leg down, working the hip flexors, keeping the butt up, nice and slow, controlled. Working hip flexors in the left leg while maintaining proper hamstring, glute, and lower back contraction on the right. Oh. Alrighty, Mackenzie is going to do a body row using the TRX straps. She's going to pull her chest up. Her butt's going to come up a little bit so she has a straight line from her shoulders to her knees. And then she's going to come down nice and slow. She can either rest down at the bottom or continue with repetitions. She's going to keep the head back so that her neck stays neutral. Tuck your chin for me just so you a lot of people tend to do that. So relaxing the head back will help to keep the neck relaxed. Good. And she's hugging the elbow into the side of her body, almost as if she's squeezing her elbows in and trying to touch her elbows behind her body. This is working all the back of the body, the pullers of the arms, the lower back, the glutes, the hamstrings. She can challenge herself here by kicking one leg up, which will really work that left glute. And she can alternate as she turns red. Very good. We're going to do a higher level progression of body rows. You can either hold the handles if you can get your fingers around it, or you can go for the straps. You're going to get a good strong grip. Left hand's on your hips. Feet are wide at first. From here, we're going to relax the head back. Keep our eyes on that same spot on the ceiling as we come up. And back down nice and slow. Again, don't slingshot. Slow, controlled contractions. Keeping the muscles under tension for a longer period of time to increase strength gains. And again, try not to unseat the shoulder too much. Try to keep a little bit of retraction of the shoulder blade throughout the whole range of motion. Switch it up. Again, strap is right over the top of you, so you're not back behind it or below it. All right, Mackenzie's going to use the TRX to perform a proper glute squat. We call them glute squats because this is bringing awareness and emphasis to the gluteal muscles versus the quadriceps. Now, the quadriceps are going to be working, but we really want to have the client squeeze their butt as they're coming up to emphasize the glute max contraction. Keeping the lordotic curve in the lower back, especially on the way up. Excellent. Keeping the toes engaged. We also want to lift the heels a smidgen just to get the calves and hamstrings engaged a little bit more. And do a posterior tilt with the hips so people can see how not to do it. Yes, very good. And then back to anterior or neutral. Good. And then coming up, shoulders are pinched the whole time. Her eyes are up on the bar to keep the head neutral. And she's keeping the elbows slightly bent. She's not relying on the arms as much as she's relying on the butt muscles. So this is your first progression. You can also hold it at the bottom for a moment to really recruit the glutes. And then have them work all the way up, so squeezing nice and slow and controlled. Now, if the person is slingshotting all the way up, they're probably overpowering with their quadriceps. So the slow, controlled contraction will really emphasize the gluteal contraction. And again, this is more of a glute squat, so it's emphasizing the posterior chain of the body.
Chris is doing a TRX lunge. He has one foot behind him and the other foot directly under the TRX straps. And then he's going to drop the back knee straight to the floor and then really squeeze the glutes slowly to bring himself back up. And he's on his toes, which engages the calves and the foot muscles. He is squeezing his shoulder blades down and back and keeping his arms bent the whole time. He's also keeping his eyes up on the bar, keeping it nice and slow, making sure to use the glutes.
Here's some things that people sometimes do wrong. Is a slingshot, which is nothing other than momentum. Also watch the hips. If they're not opened up, you always want to bring that right hip in a little bit, squeezing both glutes as you come up and down. And watch that the knee is always pointing the same direction as the toe. The chest is up. You don't want to lose the arch in the back. So we want to keep the arch pronounced and the shoulders back. And you can literally lift the back leg because you're not putting a lot of weight on it. It's just there for a little feedback so the brain knows where your foot is.